Okay, so once again, welcome back. As we are continuing discussions on the Saturn direct motions on Pisces on 28th of November. So let's talk about the Cancer ascendant. We know that for the Cancer ascendant, Saturn is going to be direct on the ninth house. And ninth house is, as we know, it's all about the spirituality, it's all about the higher belief, it's all about the religious activities as well. And also it is also indicates your higher wisdom. Okay, wisdom usually we see from fifth house, but when we talk about the higher wisdom, it always connects the ninth house. And also it also gives the impact from, like, from your forefathers, or let's say for ancestors. Okay, so how they are giving blessings upon you. Okay, that also we can see from your ninth house. So Saturn is getting placed in a direct motion over there. Definitely it can bring sudden restrictions in your life. Maybe something, or the work whatever you're doing, it may not happen on a first attempt. Maybe you have to retry for the second attempt. That will make more, positive changes. So this is one thing where you have to learn that not to give up for the Cancer ascendant. Okay, because the first few months, like 5 6 months, starting from 28th of November, this is a time where you should learn, like, how not to give up. Okay, how to be persistent, how to be, like, ethical towards your work or whatever things you are doing in your life. Okay, as we are observing in the ninth house effects. Now from there, the aspects are coming on to your first, is coming on your 11th house. uh, for the Cancer ascendant, 11th house aspect for the Saturn, definitely the let's say the efforts whatever you have given so far. Okay, starting from 2025 April, when Saturn moves to the Pisces zodiac. So that, from that moment, if you have given a right effort, ethical effort for the work whatever you has been assigned to you, or if, even if you're a student, okay, and you are looking for a competitive exams, or any kind of exams like the UPSC, or CAT, GRE, whatever, any competitive exams you are trying hard, right? So this is a high time where you can see that from this November transit, right, you can see some progress over there. You can feel much more confident if you have given a really good effort during the last 7 8 months. So this is definitely the house of gain, 11th house, as we know, and Saturn watching it. Definitely, if you have worked hard, Saturn is definitely going to give you the double best results. Okay, and it is also watching your third house. So communication, be very polite, I would request, because whenever Saturn is watching the third house, right, we have a tendency of saying every time the truth in front of the people, right? But maybe every time the truth will not be that much polite for the others. Okay, so we are living in a society where not everybody will love the truth to be spoken in front of them. But definitely you have to be a little bit diplomatic, like where you are telling, whom you are telling, what you are telling. So be little bit polite over there, a little bit, I would say, careful, like when you are communicating with your superiors, communicating with your senior members, because your harsh tone, or maybe your harsh words, even though you're saying the right thing, but the communication style might become a bit harsh, bit brutal. So here you have to be very very careful, otherwise it will definitely gonna hurt people. And when Saturn is watching the communication house, and if in case, if any relationships is getting hammered, or getting hurt because of your communication, that those relationships will never be getting fixed in life. So this is a very very simple formula. Whenever Saturn is watching the third house, be very polite with your communication. If you're hurting someone, even though if you're saying truth, and if later, if you felt like, I haven't told like that to that person and all, they are not going to come back. That's the basic formula for Saturn watching the third house. It's also watching the sixth house, and this is very good. It's definitely very good. Saturn is watching the sixth house of enemies, debt. It is watching the house of hidden obstacles, and definitely he is going to give you good results over here. Why? This is a very very good combination. because here Saturn is going to cut the enemies. Saturn is going to destroy the enemies who are troubling you for last few months when it became retrograde, right? So Saturn is definitely going to cut those enemies. It is going to sometime if also depends on your present dasha mahadasha and the planetary placements for the sixth lord as well. But ideally this particular aspect on the sixth, it's going to cut the enemies, cut the debts, cut the hidden obstacles. And definitely while watching the sixth house from the ninth, it can also initiate the spiritual growth or spiritual enlightenment, or suddenly it will sparks the interest for spiritual path. Okay, you might suddenly get interest towards occult, you might suddenly get interest towards yogas or meditation techniques, pranic healing, reiki. So it's not necessary that you will become a professional about that, but you'll start learning about it. Okay, because when it's watching the sixth house, right, it also the hidden stuff. Okay, so even though we know that the eighth is the house of occult, but here the catch is Saturn is the eighth lord. For the Cancer ascendant, Saturn is the seventh and eighth lord. It is placed in the ninth and watching the sixth. That means it can create a new dimension for you by you know involving you towards the occult or some Gupta Vidya. That means the secret studies, right? Like Tantra, Mantra, and all. So definitely you can see some progress or changes in that part as well.